Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Ira. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just wondering if you could take us through the time Coach Norvell let you know that he had the positive diagnosis, and then also what your feelings were at practice without him being there over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Mike let me know that morning right when he found out, so we were in the office and just there to support him and make sure to know if he needed anything from us that we were here for him. And just we were going to move on. It was going to be a little bit different dynamic, but, things happen. And we're just here to support Mike.
Coach, defensively, what will it mean for you guys to potentially get Hampson Nazarene back? And just what does he do for the back end of the defense as a whole?
Well, Ham's still progressing. He's working his butt off. He wants to be back as soon as possible, and we're going to help him try to do that. But Ham was in his history here at Florida State, he was definitely somebody that's had an impact in this league. So, if Ham gets on the field, when that happens, it brings back a veteran guy that is a plus tackler, matches up on certain skills on offense, can be used in the box, can be used in the post, and just multiple different ways. So, I know he really wants to be back. Time will see when that happens, but we're looking forward to it when it happens. And, Ham needs our support. We're working through it here every day with him in practice and in the training room, meeting rooms, everything that has to do with Ham.
Hey, Coach, can you talk a little bit about your impressions of Miami's offense and how the challenges that defending Derek King will provide you guys?
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They've done a great job in the first two games. They've done basically everything they wanted to accomplish, winning two games and playing well on offense. The quarterbacks brought a lot of that, I'm sure, and but they've got other players that are playing at a high level. So, they've run the ball when they want to run the ball. Anytime you can run the ball, it makes it easier to create openings in the throw game. There's enough actions within all the plays that have plays off of plays. So they're playing at a high level. I'm sure right now, they don't feel like there's any problems. They're just doing what they need to do the first two games on offense. And, they're definitely a challenge right
now. During the off week, I know you had a lot of things you wanted to try to accomplish coming off the first game. How did that go? Did you feel you guys got to what you needed to get to during that off week?
Yeah, Ira, there was some that was prep for Miami, going off of that first game and the history that we've had in the past with this play caller. But a lot of it had to do with just self-building and making sure that we fix corrections that need to be from game one, and just the maturation, the development, the consistency of just developing things that we need to do on our side of the ball, whether it's just fundamentals or it was just building on the next step in how we've got to play on defense. So yeah, I think it was a good week. We needed the week, and we very much took advantage of it. Guys invested a lot of time, and we were able to get some movement around in some different positions, and feel comfortable that our guys had a very effective week during that bye week.
Hey, Coach, this will be your first time, obviously, coaching in what is one of the historic rivalries in all of college football. I guess, what does that mean to you? And are you seeing a little bit the signs in practice, a little bit more edge than maybe some of the players at this point?
Yeah, we went out with them yesterday. So it was the first time that it was a full focus on Miami. And, listen, it's one of the great rivalries in college football, so anytime you're involved in a rivalry game, you usually feel it early in the week, and that was not an exception on Sunday. So our guys are excited to play. Now we just got to focus that enthusiasm and that focus and that energy in the right place, which is tomorrow's practice. And but no, excited about being involved in this and looking forward to go and put our best foot forward on Saturday night.
I know you went up against Coach Lashlee's offense at SMU last year. Are there similarities to what they're doing at Miami, or does he change much based on personnel?
I mean, the quarterback, I think any play caller plays to the quarterback, and last year they were operating at a really high level with their wideouts, quarterback, even the backs, So, this year it's only 2 games into it, but there's a lot more similarities than differences. formationally, play designs, play calls. Obviously the quarterback's being a little bit different. I think that some plays are going to tend more towards the quarterback he has this year as opposed to last year. But, see a lot of similarities as far as just even the personnels and how they're used, the formations and the setup of plays, a lot of same as, yes.
Add along with Warchant.
With a play caller having such a diverse sort of amount of weapons to use and a quarterback that can do so many different things, is the key to just be ready for all those different things they can throw at you, or to just simplify and pare things down so you don't have a bunch of misassignments and give them easy scores like Louisville seemed to fall into?
Yeah, good question. When you're set up on how to play defense each week, you still want to make sure your leverages are clean, your run pass keys are clean, how you align your guys. And then you just have to have your normal checks and balances as far as what's a live call, what calls you're getting in and out of, when you're going to pressure and how you're going to pressure. And that's when each opponent's a little bit different. And, it starts with the quarterback. What are his strengths? What are the things they're going to go to? And then just try to get yourselves attacking in a way that you feel like you can take away the quarterback and his strengths. So, there's some differences each week that's going to happen. And for sure with this quarterback and the way the offense is rolling right now, especially in that run game, it definitely takes a heavy presence of having a game plan towards what they're accomplishing right now on offense.
Hey, Pat Burnham again with Osceola.
Hey, Pat.
Coach, can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay. Hey, I just wondered, with Derek King's versatility, does that make you more conservative as far as using man coverage blitz packages, and do you have to play more zone because of that?
I think it's still situationally based. I think the quarterback does mandate certain things, but listen, if you sit back there and wait for him, you got to be able to tackle him in space. If you pressure him, you got to be able to tackle him in some space. So, I think you need to be able to do both. I don't think you can sit there and listen, a mobile quarterback, I put it in the category of veteran quarterback. And if you just keep giving the same picture, you're probably going to get similar results each time. There's a lot of things you got to do when you're pressuring, and a lot of things you got to do when you're rushing the quarterback. I think you got to make sure that he doesn't have a clean sight line to the foot for his throws. You got to make sure he doesn't have clean angles that he can escape. But then there's just the run game, and his ability to keep the football. When he hands the ball off this year, they've had a boatload of success. So, there's a lot of things you put in the category when you play a veteran quarterback. And Derek King is putting a lot of things out there on tape early in his career here at Miami that poses challenges to defense. So our guys know the challenge. Our staff knows the challenge. It's our job to make sure we put them in the best situation so Florida State can go out there and play our best game here in this early part of the year in 2020.
And we'll go to Ira for the last question.
After the season opener, Marvin Wilson said, he wanted to go watch film that night. Did you see the response you wanted to see from the players after the opening loss?
I did. That Sunday night, we had a really good practice that Sunday after. Going into the bye week. And, the challenge of players and coaches is, when you come off something that isn't successful, but even when you have success, it's always just the response after that, and then maintaining that throughout a bye week, a next game week. And I think that's a challenge for all of us. And, that's what we're into now. Now you're able this week is to refocus. Now it's on an opponent, but is it really just about the opponent? No. It's always that balance of making sure that we're working towards our best and then keeping the plans on what we've got to do to defend this opponent and just integrating that all. And listen, there's a lot of stuff going on, but you're playing, in a major football conference. There's always going to be things going on. And it's our job to make sure that all that energy and all that intent within our players are pointed in the right direction so we can go execute and give ourselves the best chance to win on Saturday night.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.